Okay, so if you've ever tried to build something like a dynamic photo gallery, you know the pain.
Oh, yeah.
That classic Pinterest-style wall where everything just
Yeah.
nestles in perfectly. I remember losing an entire weekend to the old Masonry JavaScript library,
I think we all have that story.
just trying to stop it from glitching out the image borders every time the window resized. A total nightmare.
Right, watching JavaScript just churn away, calculating heights, repositioning everything.
Well, those days might just be over. We are taking a deep dive into the official native CSS solution for this exact problem, CSS Grid Lanes.
And what's so fascinating is how much work went into this. It's not a simple feature. This is the result of years of collaboration.
Right.
You've got foundational work from Mozilla, major contributions from Apple's WebKit team, all hashed out in the CSS working group. So our mission today is to show you exactly how this changes the game.
Okay, before we dive into the code, let's clarify something for everyone who already knows standard CSS grid. What does grid lanes actually do that normal grid can't?
That's the key question. Standard grid is rigid. Your items are locked into rows.
Yeah.
So if you have 3 columns, item number 4 must start below whatever the tallest item was in the row above it.
Right, it creates that awkward empty space.
Exactly. Grid lanes breaks that row constraint. It lets items move vertically up into the shortest available column. It's what makes true gapeless masonry possible natively.
Natively. And let's talk about the simplicity. We're going from hundreds of lines of JavaScript to what?
It's pretty amazing. It really boils down to 3 key lines of CSS. First, you just set display grid lanes on your container.
Okay, that's simple enough.
Second, you define your columns, something responsive like grid template columns, repeat, autofill, min-max, 250px, 1fr,
And no media queries.
0 media queries. Then third, you just add your gap, 16px or whatever you want. That's it.
That's incredible.
The layout logic is beautiful too. One of the papers we read had this great analogy. Imagine a highway full of cars in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Your next grid item is like a new car entering the highway.
Yeah.
It automatically moves into the lane or the column that gets it closest to the top of the window.
So it's always trying to get the furthest ahead.
Exactly.
And the user benefits here are huge. I mean, think of the performance win. The browser isn't running a heavy JavaScript library anymore. It's all handled by the rendering engine.
Absolutely. And accessibility is so much better.
How so?
Users can now tab across the lanes to the content they can actually see. They're not forced to tab all the way down one super long column, past things below the fold, before jumping back to the top of the next one.
You know, that performance boost is fantastic. But harnessing that kind of power, especially with new standards, well, that's where expert guidance can be so critical. And this deep dive is sponsored by Embersilk. If you need assistance with AI training, automation, integration, software development, or you're just trying to figure out where agents can make the most impact for your business, check out embersilk.com for all your AI needs.
And, building on that native power, Grid Lanes uses the full capability of CSS Grid. This isn't just for uniform photo galleries.
I mean, it's more flexible.
Way more. You can create these really complex, dynamic designs. For instance, you could have varying lanes. Maybe alternate between narrow columns and wide columns.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you could just alternate min-max 8M1FR with something wider, like min-max 16rem2FR, and you can still span items.
Like with regular grid.
Exactly. Make one item span 4 columns for a featured article, and everything else just flows around it. It's perfect for something like a dynamic newspaper layout.
But that complex logic brings up a question. You introduce this new concept of tolerance. What happens when 2 columns have, like, a tiny, almost identical height?
That's where tolerance comes in. It basically adjusts how picky the algorithm is. The default is 1em.
So about 16 pixels.
Right. So if the height difference between 2 columns is less than 16 pixels, the browser will prioritize the natural reading order over absolute pixel-perfect placement.
Wait, why wouldn't you just set that to 0 for maximum accuracy?
Because you could get a really weird content order. You might see item 6 appear way over on the right, and then item 7 jumps all the way back to the left.
Ah, I see. That would be a terrible tabbing experience.
A mess for accessibility. Tolerance just keeps the flow sensible. And we should also mention this defaults to a waterfall layout columns, but you can use grid template rows to make it a horizontal brick layout too.
That level of control is just remarkable. So what's the big takeaway for developers listening right now?
The takeaway is, it's ready to test. The basic syntax is stable, and it's already in Safari Technology Preview 234.
So people can start playing with it now.
Absolutely. Start making demos. Think beyond image galleries. You could use this for those massive mega menu footers with tons of links. It's a huge leap forward for the web.
That progress is so inspiring to see. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe to the show. Hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out. Thanks for tuning in.